18 months.
What was your internship?
I worked at a resort in Vermont.
All right.
Yeah.
Burlington?
Close to Burlington. Yeah, close. It was called the Equinox.
Yeah.
But at that time, I thought I wanted to get into hotels because that's where a lot of money is.
Yeah.
And then that also kind of made me realize I hate hotels.
Mm-hmm.
So
got you.
it was perfect.
So then after that, sort of where do you decide to go? And at this point, are you sort of like really serious about cooking, or you're just like, let me just kind of take this path and see where it takes me?
No, ever since I started like having my first job in high school, I think I knew that I wanted to cook for a long time. Mm-hmm. So I was pretty serious about it. So after graduating culinary school, I went back to Houston. I went to the University of Houston in their hospitality program to get my bachelor's.
Yeah.
I ended up working at what was then like a very good restaurant in Houston, but it was like a very old school kind of steak place, like super old techniques, like huge portions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Foie gras on steak with like fucking risotto.
With eggs.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that was it was great. I mean, we were churning out like 300 covers a night and like definitely got like thrown to the wolves on that one.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but it was great.
Best way to learn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It definitely like taught me a lot about hard work because I was doing that and then I was going to school at night. And so I was just getting like crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, I never worked in a restaurant during school, except for my second year. But I did notice how much more aggressive those kids were. Yeah. Like they were like fucking, because they're working,
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm just a student. You know what I mean? It's like fucking night and day.
Yeah.
How long did you stay there?
I was there for about a year and some change. But then I dropped out and then I applied. I just decided I needed to hit the next level.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be like a big fish in a small pond. And like Houston is a great city. It's a great culinary town. Like the food is incredible there. I love it. I mean, that's my home.
Yeah.
But, I really wanted to hit like the next stage.
Yeah.
So I applied I basically applied to a bunch of Japanese restaurants in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And then the one that took me was Ryugin. It's called, the whole full name is Nihon Ryori Ryugin.
What does that mean?
Nihon Ryugin means the dragon of Japanese cooking.
Okay. Fucking badass, dude.
Yeah, so it's a 3 Michelin star now.
That's your next bar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The dragon of cocktails.
Yeah, exactly. But when I went, it was 2 stars, and it was like great accolades, and now it's even higher accolades. But that was really great because I think I was like about 22 at the time.
Yeah.
It was.
Did you work with Maddie?
Maddie?
Yeah, Maddie Kammerer.
Oh, Matt Kammerer?
Yeah,
I never worked with him.
Got you, because he went through there a little bit.
I think he went to Ishikawa, maybe.
He went to Ryugin. He said for a stage.
Oh, I see.
And they basically just like stand there and look at us. You know what I mean? Don't touch anything.
They're pretty strict for foreigners.
How long? So, how does this restaurant work? Is it tasting? Mm-hmm. Got you. How many courses?
At Ryugin.
Yeah.
When I went, it was a tasting. I think it was probably like 15 courses. 15? Yeah, something around that. Maybe 12 to 16. I can't remember.
Yeah. And were you working there?
No, I was just staging.
Staging.
Yeah.
Did you already have some kind of base knowledge of the language because of your upbringing?
Yeah, I had some base knowledge, so that definitely helped me out.
Yeah, so they let you touch a little bit more, a little bit quicker.
They let me hang out more. They let me kind of ask questions.
Yeah.
And, I was a little bit more involved in some of the other foreign stages.
Yeah.
The language barrier helped out.
They're all looking at you like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's
pretty much.
Yeah. Do they put you up in a room? Or?
They did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they put me up in a room. I was staying with like one of the sous chefs at the time, and he hated me. He was like, "Oh, here's another fucking stage, like sleeping on my floor."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's probably because they just make him do it.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey, there's another stage."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Fuck."
Yeah. They make him do it.
Is he still there? You think?
Yeah,
probably,
actually,
right?
He runs the Ryugin in, I believe it's Hong Kong. Yeah, he runs there's another outbranch in Hong Kong. He runs that one.
Is that a pop-up or an actual like brick and mortar?
It's literally the same exact restaurant in Hong Kong. I'm not even kidding.
They just remade it. I mean, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No, it's the exact same restaurant. It's incredible. I think it's a brilliant idea. You have a 3 Michelin starred restaurant, just open the same thing in another city. I think it's brilliant.
What is So what are the stations broken down? Like how many people are in the kitchen?
At Ryugin.
Yeah.
At Ryugin, there's like one grill cook and his assistant, and then there's like kind of like a soup and like kind of like a soup station, and his assistant, like 2 people on garde manger, expo, and then I think the chef usually floated around.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it an intense service? Quiet?
It was very quiet, like very Japanese kitchen. You know, Japanese kitchen is like very serious.
Yeah.
Very quiet, very very high pressure.
Yeah.
It's good. I kind of like it.
Yeah. How long did you stage there?
Just 3 months.
3 months.
It was actually 3.5, but who's counting?
Yeah. And then after that, did you decide to leave because your time was up, or did you have other plans?
Yeah. So they offered to keep me along, but someone I staged there. He highly suggested that I stage at Aqcuired.
Mm-hmm.
He had just eaten there, and I was asking him for advice, and he was like, where should I stage next? He said, you got to go to Spain.
Yeah.
This guy in Spain is doing these crazy things like on grill. And he's like in the middle of nowhere. You're going to learn so much. And so I was like, okay. I checked it out. I called somebody, and they're like, yeah, come on, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah.
I fucking love kitchens, dude. Yeah, for sure, 100%. We don't know who you are.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking come down here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Stay on my sous chef's couch. He's like, you do a background check or what?
Yeah. But that's basically what ended up happening. Was I went to Aqcuired after that, and I staged another 3 months there, and it was almost the same thing. It was like all the cooks staying in one apartment together, and it was pretty intense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How long were the work days there?
They were open for lunch when I was working there. It was 6 days a week for lunch. On Sundays, we did like a brunch menu. Then we had 1 day off.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Were you sometimes working on that day off?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was very serious.
I mean, sometimes on the day off, he would do these like neighborhood suppers, which it was like optional if we wanted to come and help. Basically, we'd feed the small town that it's located in, and it was great. It was like they could range from like anywhere from like 8 people to like 50 people.
Yeah,
and it was just like he just wanted to feed the town. Victor's like such
fucking awesome, dude.
Victor's a cool guy.
Yeah. Did he did the Spanish throw you off, or did they speak English? Like, was it pretty easy?
They spoke Spanish, and I speak a little bit of Spanish.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty easy to.
Yeah, it was easy for me to get along there too. But they also speak. It's like in the Basque region.
Yeah.
So they speak. I think it's called Euskera.
Yeah.
And it's like that always kind of threw me off too.
Oh, got you. Because you hear some Spanish in there, and you're like,
Yeah, and then they throw some other like Basque things in there, and you're like, what's going on? Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
And you stayed there for how long? You said 3 months.
That was 3 months. Yeah.
Got you. Did you move on for a certain reason, or did they offer you a job? Or
they offered a job, but to be honest with you, it's a very isolated restaurant. It's like in the middle of it's in Achondo, which is in the it's like 2 or 3 hours away from San Sebastian, and Bilbao. It's like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
The town is like maybe like 200 people in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty remote. So that's just not my kind of style.
Yeah.
That's not my style.
What are you doing on your day off there?
Resting.
Fucking nothing, yeah.
Yeah, there's like nothing to do. I mean, it's like beautiful. It's like absolutely gorgeous landscape. Like when you like look in your backyard, it's like this huge mountain, and you can like go on these hikes, and like you can rock climb, and you can do anything you want. But it's beautiful. But I was born in Houston, and I'm like used to concrete, and like going
people
out.
And shit. Yeah.
I need a little bit more than that.
It's like there is no concrete here, man. There's not even a concrete store.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Was there any other kind of notable cafes in that little town that you maybe spent your time in?
Yeah, I mean, they had like one of everything. There was like one cafe with internet that everybody went to. There was like one decent like restaurant, and the other ones are just cafes. And then, there was like a small town a little bit over that's like a little bigger, so we'd usually go there to like go to a gym or go to like some bars and stuff.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was just very small town, and I had to get out of there. So eventually after that, I moved to New York, and I worked at Deputy 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. How'd you get that job?
So the person I met in Japan, he like we stayed in contact after we split up from Ryugin.
Yeah.
And I told him, hey, I'm finishing my stage at Spain. do you think I should come aboard a W50? Because he worked there as well. And he's like, yeah, absolutely, you should come here. This is a great kitchen. You have like a lot to learn. You should come. So I did.
Word up.
Yeah.
And how did you start? What position? Commis or?
Yeah, basically I started in what almost everyone does. You start as like prep cook, garde manger.
Yeah.
And then I just worked my way along the line, and yeah.
Did you work with Chef Flores?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how we met.
Okay. Very cool. He was only there for like a year, no?
I think so.
Something like that?
Yeah.
How long did you stay there total?
I think I was like 3.5 to 4 years.
3.5 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Did you make it to sous chef?
No, I never made it to sous chef.
Okay, got you. Was it the sous chef positions kind of locked in?
They were pretty locked in.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people, like upper management, left. A lot of people that were serious about the job would stay at least like 2 to 3 years. And I had no problem with that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed my time there, and I loved it.
And you're living in the city just like you like. So
yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
okay, what's not the...
Yeah, New York City when you're 20s is fucking great, man.
And I mean, during that time, it was like, Momofuku and all those places were starting to bang, and it was like, New York was buzzing at that time. Exactly. That's crazy. Did you have any notable meals during that time?
No notable meals that I had eaten?
Yeah. Because I know EMP was popping off and like all these places.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. I mean, I ate at Le Bernardin. That was like, of course, it was great. I ate at Momofuku. That was great too. Just like, like a lot of the New York staples I hit.
Yeah. Peter Luger.
Of course.
You gotta eat a Peter Luger.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
At this time, are your parents visiting you at all?
Once in a while.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. I went through long periods of time where I didn't see my parents. Like 3-4 years, like, okay.
Yeah.
Guess I'll see you soon,
I feel like that happens a lot in the culinary industry.
Yeah. You sort of put everything by the wayside and just focus on learning how to cook.
Yeah. Then when they would visit, it would be like, okay, I have 2 days off. I'll see you on a weekend randomly. And it was like maybe once a year, maybe once every 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
It was intense.
I mean, you got to say that, or give them credit, the parents that are like, he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
So that's always really respectable. After WD-50, or how do you decide I'm going to leave here? Was it because you stayed too long, or
actually
it closed?
It closed.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you would have stayed there for longer if it hadn't closed.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any other restaurants in the city that you wanted to work at, that you aspired to be at, or?
In New York City, there was plenty of restaurants I was looking into. But when WD-50 closed, I was dating somebody that moved back to California at that time.
Okay.
She invited me. She said, you should come to California too. It's great. San Francisco and LA, they're great cities. And so we kind of made a compromise. And I said, okay, I can do San Francisco if you want to live in California. So I met her here, and we settled here. Yeah.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. Okay. And where did you work when you got here?
I went straight to Californios.
Californios. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. How many years have they been open?
So they've been open maybe, I staged there maybe like only a couple months after they had opened. Like they just opened.
Oh, so you were with Joe Geiskoff and okay, gotcha.
I was like, I staged there and when they first opened, and I loved it. I mean, I loved the vibe, and at that time I wanted the same exact concept, and so I thought, this is great. This is exactly the kind of restaurant I want. And so I just told Val, I was just kind of like, hey, I want to take the job, but you're going to have to give me like 3 more months to move all my crap from New York.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, just let me know.
Yeah, he's real easygoing.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he's
for sure. What was your position when you started? Start from the bottom?
Yeah, I was on Garmo.
Okay, very cool. And how long did you stay there total?
5.5 years.
5.5 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you know that you were going to stay that long from the beginning?
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of, when I first started there, I wanted to make an imprint on that place, and I wanted to I knew I wanted to be at least sous chef there, and because it was, like I said, it was like the exact same kind of concept that I wanted to have. Not Mexican, but like the same style of food. So, yeah.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. And did you have any input in the menu at all?
Yeah.
Things like that?
Definitely.
R&D?
Yeah, I definitely had a lot of input with Val. Of course, it's his menu.
Yeah.
You know, I would typically bring a lot of like other things to the table, like working